buns. Hello, everybody. Randomly, this is my channel that we're on, which is surprising to me specifically. I'm Pete from the Potterings of Pete. You should know where you are. There's stuff down below. And I'm joined by several wonderful people.
And also me.
It's because you don't have legs. Would you guys like to introduce yourselves?
Yes, but you have to pick who introduces himself first.
We're going to go chaotic. Joseph.
I'm Joseph Reads Books. I've got a booktube channel where I talk about basically everything. And last year, my reading project was reading everything Glenn Cook's ever written.
Nice.
Alan.
I'm Alan from the Library of Alexandria. I just finished my, fourth reread of The Black Company, but the first time in it's got to be 20 years, at least 15. I just finished it. I don't know, before the summer, May, June, somewhere around there. I just finished it up.
Evie.
I'm representing all females in this stream, in this conversation. I'm Evie. She was only Evie. Yeah, that's it. I'm known for Simon Jimenez Spirit Cuts the Water. So say his name and I will be there.
At least one time or three times?
Just once.
Okay.
Just you gotta just think about it. But I did read Black Company last year. Did I finish it this year? No, I didn't. I finished it last year. And I have not reread it. I have not read Port of Shadows nor Lies Weeping yet. So yeah.
How dare you?
Wait, has Pete read Lies Weeping?
No.
Has Pete read Port of Shadows?
No. I just finished
Okay.
Soldiers Live on the plane back.
Okay. I was pretty sure. I'm Jake. To contrast the person who read every Glenn Cook book last year and the person who's like, I read it for the fourth time, and the person who read it kind of recently, I started this series 4 years ago and finished it 3 years ago, and I'm going to pretend that I remember what happened and try and talk about it in depth and potentially fail today. Everybody wish me luck. If I say something that makes no sense, now you all know why Jake makes mistakes.
And if something happens,
I did read Lies Weeping though. So I read Lies Weeping.
Yeah.
So I do have that. And if I forget something, what I can do, if Evie and Pete are like, ask me a question and I just don't know the answer, I can be like, well, I worry my answer might spoil Lies Weeping. And I hope that Joseph and Alan don't throw me under the bus. That's my plan. So, yeah.
And if something weird happens with his screen, blame Vin, his cat.
Yes, she sits on the control key on my keyboard.
So
and she does it on purpose. She understands what this does, I believe.
She understands, of course. So would you say that Jake forgets and wonders why?
No, he knows why. It's because he read it 3 to 4 years ago, depending on the book. Or like a month ago for Lies Weeping.
It's okay. I'm in a similar boat for the beginning of the series. I read the first part of the series almost 2 years ago now. It was supposed to take a year, and it's taken almost 2. Because there was a middle of the part where I just stopped reading The Black Company, and that was a mistake because Water Sleep and Soldier Lives were great. So as you'll notice, Evie and myself have not read Port of Shadows, and we have not read Lies Weeping yet.
I have also not read Port of Shadows.
I actually also haven't read Port of Shadows. So
It's
But
just-
you guys
only
have read
Joseph.
Lies Weeping.
It's just Joseph that has read.
Joseph is the only one who has read Port of Shadows. Incidentally, it is Lies Weeping that is the one that is coming out next, and 3 of you have read. And the one that has been out for a while, only one of us has read.
There's a funny story about Joseph reading Port of Shadows because once upon a time, he was the first person who ever told me Port of Shadows was good. And then I told him he was the first person who ever told me Port of Shadows was good. And then he reread Port of Shadows and was like, never mind, Port of Shadows isn't good. So that was one of my first interactions with Joseph. So that was funny.
Of course. Clearly, I hate Port of Shadows. I'm going to purposely misinterpret that. Hey, it's John. So we have John, we have Anita, and we have 2 other random people.
And they're not random. They're also specific.
Specific people that love Black Company. I have no idea who Alan is. I found him on the side of the street. He said he read Black Company. So I was like, hey, you should come on my stream. You look like you talk good. So that's the story about that. So Black Company. I feel like we kind of introduced the fact that we're talking about Black Company. And it's great. It's a great series. It's about to be 12 books, right?
Question mark? Yes.
I
Yeah,
guess.
because it's
Yeah.
10. Port of Shadows is 11.
I don't know how to
I
do
love
that.
how Soldiers Live is 10 in my books, but yet I look on Goodreads and it's number 9 because of Silver Spike.
Yeah, they just don't
That's
count it.
Yeah.
It's,
All right.
Silver Spike is book number 4.
Yes.
I just don't know why it has to be an argument.
Wait, it is 4. You're right.
Silver
Yes.
Spike, just read it after White Rose. Like, just
Correct.
read it after White Rose and move on. Like,
And
do.
I know you're
I
gonna
always
be
call
like,
it book
but
3.5.
Jake, it has it after Dreams of Steel and Shadow Games in this edition I have. I don't care. The people who bound this are fools. Listen to Alan instead.
It doesn't even make any sense. Like, Bleak Seasons is a direct continuation to Dreams of Steel. Like, in fact, it takes place at the same time as Dreams of Steel. There's no reason once you have moved to the south to return to the north. Like, Silver Spike is a book of the north. It's like it is book 4. Like, I don't understand why you read 2 books of the south and go back.
So you're saying is somebody should read Port of Shadows as like book 3 or book 2?
Pete,
I mean,
we're gonna kick you off your own stream.
I mean, theoretically, chronologically, yes, theoretically, but it is, from what I understand, and Joseph can confirm, it just has a different tone, and so it doesn't actually feel like it's one of those first 3 books. Silver Spike reads exactly like the first 3. Like, it's just the same, just with case. So
Yep.
Joseph, tell us about Port of Shadows and whether people should read it or not.
With Lies Weeping coming out, yes, you should read Port of Shadows, but Port of Shadows only works after reading the original 10 because there's a lot of things in it that take place or that are hinted at. It hints at a lot of things that happened in the other books. I can't really go into details without spoiling it, but it's like I don't know.
Like a
There's a
great homage type situation.
No, it's more of the events that are happening in Port of Shadows somehow take place both before and after the original series. You'd have to read Port of Shadows and Lies Weeping to understand.
I kind of understand, having only read Lies Weeping, maybe, I think, potentially.
Interesting. Intriguing. So for all the people that haven't read The Black Company in the chat,
Anita, John.
and Ethan and John, why should we all read The Black Company? Everybody.
Because it's
Okay.
good.
So commas are for nerds, and you just need to realize that is true. And this series will teach you that, and be like, that actually could be a full sentence. No, it's just it's got such consistency in terms of like tone and feel and everything adding up to be better than it all is individually, while also having an incredible variety in terms of style, frame, narrative, and character.
Yeah, similar to that, I think. As much as I love other authors, Robin Hobb, I think Glenn Cook is the best at character voice and conveying character through that style, through the narrative, and his ability to create fully fleshed out, even secondary characters, even through a first-person narrative, is second to none. He's in my opinion the best at that. So, also if you like military fantasy, so
It's true. To answer Anita's very obvious question that
it is a mercenary company whose history extends back 400 years to this land called Kadavar, and they're still the company, but like it's changed over the last 4 centuries, and it is about the masters that they serve, which are not always the good guys. And the black members of the Black Company aren't great human beings either. They're soldiers. But what I think Glenn Cook does best, and I think he does it even better than Erickson, who clearly is inspired by the boots on the ground stuff, like just what the everyday soldiers just deal with, and just the way they talk to each other. And it's all like, you get the ones for whom company is their history and their family, and company is everything. You get the people who were literally just on the run from the law, and and now this is the place they belong. You have the people who have who are just there because it's a job. Like they take the badge, and the company's not, it's just a job they decided to take. But each individual one of these soldiers has like unique qualities and their own personality. And Glenn Cook is also not afraid, with some glaring exceptions. Glenn Cook is not afraid to kill off some characters. Like, they're at war constantly. Like, they are constantly fighting. Like, they're a mercenary company. And eventually they're an army. Like, they're their own basic, like, PMC. And he'll kill a person like right now. It's like, what? And with current fantasy, you just sit there and you wait for them to come back, and then they don't come back.
That means he does kill the same character 9 times.
Pete, we're not trying to talk about the stupid series about spoiling, are we?
We are eventually
right now,
going to spoilers, but for
All right.
right now.
So that does spoil. Once someone dies 8 times, they're gonna die again, folks. Like,
Oh no.
Guys, there's a character that dies in book 10. And I even had to go check. I checked. On the page, it says this character dies. This character is alive and well in Lives Weeping. And I'm like, did Glenn Cook forget that he killed this person in book? I'm convinced. I'm like, later on, there's an explanation for it. But I'm like, Glenn Cook, I think you wrote 100 pages and realized that you had brought back a character that you killed in the previous book, and then had to retcon it super quick.
Maybe the beta readers caught it. Jim Butcher said that happened to him once, where he did the opening scene, and like there was a character there, and one of the beta readers was like, "Jim, we're pretty sure you killed this person in book 5. Like, wait, they're alive?" And Jim was like,
when I was reading Lives Weeping, I was like, I swear this guy died. And I went and looked back, and I'm like, right there on the page, like dead, and didn't say anything about it. Dude's just up and running as if never died.
It'd been a while since I read Soldiers Live, so I kind of gave him the benefit of the doubt on that. But
I mean, to be fair, soldiers live and wonder why.
Look, yes, that particular soldier lived, and Alan wonder why.
All right, spoiler-free thoughts, Joseph. You are the expert here.
The expert. Okay, so I think that what makes the series so special is the way the story is framed, because you're just reading the annals of the Black Company. Like, I've never read anything else written like that. Like, these are the texts that you would pick up in that world. Like, later analysts, when they talk about the stories they've read, they are the same ones we have read, which is just awesome.
Yeah.
And remind me if I'm mistaken, Joseph. Weren't there like interviews or something where the Black Company was actually read by like Marines and stuff, or something?
No, the Black Company is really popular among soldiers and like former soldiers. Glenn Cook has said that his son doesn't let anyone know that Glenn Cook's his dad, because then they won't leave him alone about it. Like, I don't know if he's still active duty, but he was in the military. So
I like how in the books, Croker talks about having to clean up, or Mergen, or one of them talks about having to clean up the other people's annals. Like, this person's putting too many personal stories in this. I got to fix it. And they go back and they like edit each other's works.
I love when they complain about the other works. I love the meta jokes, the meta humor. I love when there's one, like one of the analysts is talking to the current analyst, and it's like, yeah, I'm reading what you wrote. I don't like it. Like, it's kind of bloated, and like, I don't really like the writing style, and I think it's too focused on yourself and not the history of the company. Now, the problem is, one of those times I read that and I was kind of like, I kind of agree with these criticisms a little bit, but Glenn Cook does frame narrative, in a way that I don't think anyone does.
You have an analyst that is writing about a conversation he had with the other analyst about his work. It's hilarious.
But like,
Stuff like that is just so amazing, so beautiful in these books, and like it just the humor and the heart of the characters. I think these books really grabbed me, of course, because of that personal viewpoint, but also just like the way he also talks about war and how like the results of war. Like you spend a lot of time in the South. You spend like a whole, like, we have 4 books, and then we have another 5 books in the South. 6 books in the South.
6 books in the South.
Yeah, we spend a lot of time there, and the entirety of the country's changed dramatically while the Black Company is around. And the nature of power, first of all, is explored, I feel like, really heavily throughout all of these books in a lot of different ways. That's really nice and really just interesting to just like think about. And how that affects, whether it is the common man and the soldier or the person who's in charge of these things. That's just really fantastic.
I will say specifically for Anitha, I don't think Anitha would like this book or like this series, because it is incredibly dark, incredibly graphic.
War crimes. Just say war crimes and she won't read it. There's war crimes, Anitha.
There's a lot of war crimes.
And I think sometimes they don't go punished. I think most of the time no one gets punished for the war crimes.
So is this the only time that Glenn Cook can go wrong?
I forgot how terrible the war crimes were just in the first 2 chapters of The Black Company, the first book. I read that book 5 times, and like this last time I read it, I was like, wait, they legit killed like 4,500 people in their sleep in the second chapter.
Hey, it's the secret to their success.
Yeah.
War crimes.
Yeah.
The Canadian would know.
Look, I like that.
That's a great story.
Glenn Cook is able to tell so many different kinds of stories. I don't like Dreams of Steel and I don't like Bleak Seasons, but I like them together because of the differing viewpoints on the same event. But like the first book is like, it's almost like connected vignettes, because these chapters, it's just like dealing with a member of the rebels. But then book two is like the case of Charles Dexter Ward. It's like it's a Lovecraftian story. You could easily see this being done. I mean, it's almost being done epistolarily. It's the creeping dread and the existential horror and just the banal evil of regular men like Marin Shed is just like I love Shadows Linger. Like it is, I just love Shadows Linger. I read Shadows Linger in a day, and I don't read anything in a day anymore. Anyway, and yeah, good stuff.
I guess for everyone else, then, assuming Shadows Linger is your favorite of the bunch, Alan.
Soldiers Live
and Wonder Why.
And then I love Soldiers Live is just a fantastic book.
It is.
But I also love She Is the Darkness, Water Sleeps, and I actually like She Is the Darkness, I think, better than Water Sleeps. And then Shadows Linger is high. She Is the Darkness, and then everybody can say this. I gotta say, She Is the Darkness. She Is the Darkness has one of the best multi-book payoffs of a ruse that's been going on. Like the payoff of something fake that's been going on for 2 books. Like he committed to it. And then in book 8, we're told, hey, all that stuff you saw those last 2 books, not real. It was all part of the plan. That's done so poorly, so often. And I'm talking about, can I talk about spoilers?
Okay. So we're going to go into spoilers because Alan is itching at the bit.
Chomping at the bit?
I'm talking about the blade swap in Mogaba and screwing Mogaba. Like I knew, I hadn't read She Is the Darkness 20 years, but I knew there was a part in it that I really loved in She Is the Darkness. I'd forgotten it. And then when it happened again, I was like, this is what this thing. Oh, I was floored all over again. The fact that he worked that in 2 books prior and it was believable. It was so good. I don't know. Like Like what a masterclass.
My favorite thing about the twist is when you first hear about the falling out between like Mogaba, I forget his name, and Croker from Mergen's perspective. You're like, oh, that's kind of weird. But then it is so important for so long. You kind of are just like, whatever. Mergen didn't see it. Like you're kind of curious how it happened.
You mean Blade and Croker?
Oh yeah, Blade and Croker. Yeah. Sorry,
exactly.
Yeah, but you like really? They
Blade?
fell out, but you're like, whatever. I guess Mergen didn't see it. And so at first it's weird, but it keeps coming out. And eventually you just accept it, and you forget that it was really weird that they fell out and hadn't been enemies for a long time. Yeah. I like. So She of the Darkness that might be like one of the best moments in the entire series.
Yeah.
The problem is like I don't like Mergen, as he's my least favorite narrator. So like the rest of the book I like less than most of the other books.
Mergen is also my least favorite.
Y'all are the worst. Y'all are the worst. You're the worst.
Mergen was great and She's the Darkness.
Joseph, are you Mergen fan? Mergen stan?
Oh yeah. My top 2 books are Shadows Linger and Bleak Seasons.
Nice.
Bleak Seasons.
Bleak Seasons I get. I mean, Bleak Seasons is crazy. At first I was like, this is awesome, because it just like it was so crazy. And then I kept waiting for it to like get going, and then it ended. So I was kind of like, oh.
What?
I mean,
what's funny about? Go ahead.
No, I don't know what I was going to say. I don't even know why.
What's funny about that is like the like lost in time and flashing forward and flashing backwards and stuff is the trope I hate the most in fiction, but somehow I love Bleak Seasons.
As someone who actually struggled with the timey-wiminess of Night Watch, the irony that Bleak Seasons is one of my favorite books of the Black Company is understated. But I love Bleak Seasons. I thought it was going to be my favorite until I read Water Sleeps. So those are neck and neck. And then just Soldiers Live is the perfect ending to at least the 10-book series.
Mm-hmm. It's so good.
Those are like top 3.
Amazing.
8.
I have to agree that Soldiers Live is my favorite. Black Company, the very first one, is my second favorite, though.
Wow.
I was all in from the very beginning. I was hearing all these people are like, oh, Black Company's okay. It really gets going in the second one. And I'm just like reading this like, this is amazing. This is great. War crimes and all. Let's go. I love just how the frame narrative worked and how he kind of like kept his cards close to a certain extent. And then like Croker's story in the first one was really good. Like I really respected how he wasn't like. I was expecting Croker to be a horn dog for the lady, and he wasn't a horn dog.
I mean, he is. If you're
like, yes, but like
he's a horn dog for the lady, respectfully.
I was like, respect.
Since we're all bringing up our book that we like more than what is conventional, I will stand Shadow Games because I love Shadow Games and I love the direction it takes the Croker and lady relationship. That's really when they start being a thing, and that ends up being like one of the central hearts of the series for like the rest of it. So I'll be the Shadow Games supporter, but also Soldiers Live is my favorite because Soldiers Live is as good of a book as Glenn Cook could have written.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't think there's a weak Black Company book except for, and y'all can crucify me on this, Dreams of Steel.
Dreams of Steel is fine. I don't think it's the best, but I don't hate it as much as I used to. Especially knowing what I know, like reading it again, you know, knowing what happens and remembering kind of. I mean, Narayan Singh sucks and lasts way too long, like way too long. And Boo Boo comes to naught, and I don't really like. I mean, lies weeping. Like, what are we doing? Like, what are we doing with any of this?
He watched way too much Temple of Doom.
No, I hear you.
In the day.
I will say though, Mogaba is, I think, the best antagonist in the series. And Mogaba is one of my favorite fantasy villains ever because Mogaba could have started out as me, Mogaba, strong, you know, and that was it. That was his one characteristic. And then like the turn on Croker and like the fact that when we realized that he was always expecting Croker to crap out. He was always expecting to take over from Croker because Croker was weak. And then, you know, being the only general in the Shadowlands that is worth a dang, and then hitting Soldiers Live, and he's just kind of low-key regrets his choice of he sees what a zealot he was, like what a just reckless zealot that he kind of was, and that it's not only brought him to ruin, basically, like because he's just waiting it out, but it also has brought like the country to ruin. Like he's ruined everybody because of his own arrogance and pride. And I just think he's just a great character, way better than Soulcatcher, who I'm just over. Like I'm just done with Soulcatcher.
Do we think Soulcatcher is going to catch Limper in the race to die the most times?
She's already passed the Limper.
Has she?
Yeah.
Have we counted?
Yeah, she died. Yes, she dies too much.
I think Limper hit 9. So that's the mark.
She dies every book, and then she's back again.
I'd like an official count, please. I think my boy the Limper. I think Soulcatcher's gaining, but I think we forgot how strong the Limper's been.
Joseph, where do you weigh in on Soulcatcher?
I don't care if you like her character. Has she died more than Limper?
No, I want to know if you like Soulcatcher.
It depends. I mean, Lies Weeping kind of changed how I feel about her, but in the original 10, like she's fine. Like she's not my favorite villain. I like her early on. In the first book, she's awesome.
I love Soulcatcher. Book one. I love Soulcatcher, and after that,
okay. But now you've reread it the most. Joseph, who do you think has died more, the Limper or Soulcatcher?
I don't know. I think it's the Limper. That man was too stupid to die. Like that's his problem.
He died a lot of times.
So much.
Pete, Evie, Jake, Joseph, who's some of y'all's favorite characters in this series? Besides Croker. Croker's my favorite, obviously, but besides that.
I mean, again, I think the ability and craftsmanship of Glenn Cook to create all these really compelling characters. Like, I loved being in the perspective and reading the annals of everyone. Croker, Lady, Mergen, Sleepy. If I had to choose, I think I love Sleepy more than I do Mergen.
Wild.
As a
choice, correct
analyst. Oh my God, what's her name? Mergen's wife.
Sarah.
There you go. Like I think that's part of the reason why I like Water Sleep so much, is it's so female centric, and in the way that he explores the zealotry of Mogaba, like the way he explores femininity and womanhood, and how feminine traits are actually a strength, as opposed to normally it's if a woman character's there, she just basically is a man in a female form. I just loved that book and all the women in it. So
yeah. So
who do you like outside of the analysts?
Okay. Outside of the analysts?
You can't say an analyst. You got to say someone who isn't one of the analysts.
Other than Sarah.
It's Mother Gota, isn't it?
Well, Sarah's not an analyst, so I would have to say Sarah. I was gonna be gross.
So
and say,
disappointed.
It's Shed, but no.
I'm so disappointed.
Thinking of that.
One eye. And
like, if we want to talk about multi-book payoffs,
oh my God,
One Eye's freaking hat,
One Eye and Goblin, their combo.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I was cackling every single time they were on page mentioned.
Yeah, what happens to One Eye Goblin in the last 2 books is, I mean, it really is devastating. Like, other than Croker,
I've never.
They're the only ones. They're the only ones who have been there for all 10. Like, they're the only ones who've been there for the whole time, and it's just, I mean, it is absolutely heartbreaking to to have to see one without the other and to see what they're reduced to. I like just watching One Eye have to hobble around on his cane and not be able to do what he does. My granddad died of Parkinson's, but he was a Navy officer in the Navy, fought in the Korean War, was out. He mowed the lawn at like 65 with one of those push mowers, not the ones that aren't motorized. You have to like actually like move it under your own power. And then to watch him not even be able to feed himself was just like, you see these strong people like not be able to even do the most basic thing. And like I felt that with One Eye, just the frailty of age finally, and the strokes finally catching up to him. It was really heartbreaking.
And then on top of that, like you're watching these two characters have this not antagonistic, but like they're literally playing tricks on each other, and just they're the comic relief, so to speak. But then at the end, you see how their friendship is so integral to each other that One Eye creates that what is it, the staff or whatever for Goblin.
The spear.
Thank you. Spear. In the hat.
That freaking fedora.
Yeah. So
I
good.
forget the details of that because I read it 3 years ago, but I remember it being vaguely really cool.
Yeah, so the hat evidently stops the death goddess from possessing or controlling Goblin's body,
because he suspected that Goblin was, come back possessed by Kina.
I remember this now. Maybe I hadn't thought of it this way, but maybe one of the reasons Lies Weeping is on the bottom end of Black Company books for me is it just there's no more Goblin and One Eye.
Lies Weeping is the most setup book of all setup books. I thought that was Shadow Games. Lies Weeping. Like, Lies Weeping is just like, hey, so I wrote a book. It was like, 2,000 pages long. So I just literally, I counted, I divided it in 4 and I cut it. And there you go. And that's why it literally ends. Joseph, I have never seen a book end like that.
Crazy.
I've never seen anything like it.
Is it like literally mid-sentence?
It is not mid-sentence, but it is certainly
mid-scene. It's mid-scene for sure.
It's literally mid-scene, mid-paragraph. And it's just like, I've never seen a book end like that.
Yeah,
it is. Come back? I feel like book 2 will probably come back and be like, sorry, my sister interrupted me.
Oh my gosh. Guys, if Glenn Cook says boob monster one more time, if he says boob monster one more time,
I support Glenn Cook and his choices to write the word boob monster.
One of the twins has an ample bosom. And so the other twin that is writing is always calling her the boob monster. And I wrote it in my notes and I underlined it. Stop writing boob monster.
Yeah, the weird thing about Lies Weeping is the inciting incident happens and then the book ends.
The inciting incident happens 400 pages in.
Yeah, and then the book ends like 6 pages later.
But the fact it's so good because it's Glenn Cook and it's Black Comic.
Yeah, it's still really good. Like the banter between like the two. I love the meta humor he does. And I know it's not spoilers for Lies Weeping and you guys haven't read it, but the banter between the two narrators is hilarious, which is why
you can read the back and know that they're the two narrators.
That's what I did. I finished Soldiers Live and I finished dealing with my feelings on that, 3-hour layover I had, or 4-hour layover. And then I went and read the back of Lies Weeping. It's the first time I've read the back of a book in ages. And I'm like, I really want to know what's happening next. And
I will say, bravo to at least the blurb people for these bind-ups. Have no idea what's going on in any of the books. Whereas normally when you read a blurb, they spoil a lot of the book.
Halfway through the whatever.
I think that's one of those observation biases thing. I don't think that many blurbs spoil that much of books. I do think there are some that spoil a whole lot. I think those are like disproportionately represented because I've been reading blurbs my entire life and I haven't had books spoiled for me my entire life. Now, apparently Hobb does it. I haven't read those. So
do not read the blurb of The Golden Fool. That is in fact the last blurb I read. I decided I actually don't need them, and I have not read a blurb since The Golden Fool. So I have not read a blurb since I have not read a blurb since the year 2021.
Blurb free since 21.
Yeah.
Good for
That's
you,
a
Jake.
tattoo. Dang, Andy coming out here with the facts as well.
Hey,
It's
Andy.
definitely all blurbs. It's all blurbs. I'm gonna lean into the survivorship bias. It's all blurbs.
No, no. Sometimes
would you
it's true.
say it's a blurb monster?
But it's also so it's not like I'm afraid of getting spoiled on the blurbs. I just prefer to go in blind.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
And like I have a great example for this, and it's for a book that's slightly unfortunate at this point, but it's for American Gods, which I did not. I went in completely blind, like I had no idea what was going to happen, and then like I'm going to say what's on the blurb, so I am therefore being a hypocrite. But on the blurb, like it says he starts the book in prison, the main character, and like it starts with like he has to go see the warden. And like, if you've read the blurb, you know what the conversation's going to be, but I didn't. So like the character was nervous because he hasn't read the blurb of his own book. And I was like, oh shit, like what's going to happen? And that happens very regularly early in books. So you just get cool elements of tension, and the process of figuring out what the main parts of the story is often very interesting. And you get a moment of like, oh shit, like this is what it's about. And I just don't get that if I haven't read the blurb. So yeah, I prefer going in blind.
I agree with that. I really like that feeling in books, and I've been trying to do that more and more. Like, there's definitely books like that I'm purposely approach this way. Like right now, the next one I know this is probably gonna happen. I'm gonna figure out is Severed Echoes by Anya Dillon. I don't know anything about that book at all. I just know that somebody in Jimmy's Discord wrote the book, and there's a lot of people in the Discord that really love it. So. And there's something about, fitting into every genre. I'm like, all right, whatever. Let's go. There's a mirror on the cover. I know nothing, and it's going to be a fun time.
I guess to bring it back to Black Company, he also spans genres.
That's true. He does span genres. Sometimes it's, a little bit of a romance.
It's true.
Oh, I was going to say after Evie was talking about Water Sleeps, but this is something that I feel doesn't really get talked about. And I know this because I was talking about the person who I co-founded the university book club with. And I was reading Lies Weeping. And I mentioned that I think there's like a lot of the women characters in Black Company, especially later on, are like really interesting, well-done characters. And he was like, I'd never heard anything about that, and was like really surprised. So this is something that the world needs to know. Yeah.
True. As the token woman in this chat,
representing all women.
Yep.
How the turntables.
Yeah, exactly. What was I going to say? I was going to say something, and I forgot.
Women.
Mind. Carry on.
You're going to talk about women.
No, I was actually going to talk about love stories. So, or romance. This I did not anticipate that. Essentially, this is a giant love story. Mergen with Sarah, Croker with Lady.
So what you're saying is the Black Company started your romance era?
No, guys.
True.
The love story is Croker and Cadavar. That's the love story. Croker is absolute standing Cadavar
And then he was disillusioned, and he fell in love with Lady.
I know, but I didn't know what to do with myself when he had to find out that, hey, Cadavar is just, it's the world, right? He thought it was a city, but Cadavar's the world. Yeah. And there's nothing left of it. Really?
There's nothing left. There's a bunch of wizards on logs that are in cloth.
The flying logs.
One day, Croker is gonna start writing run-on sentences, and it's going to be an enemies to lover arc it's going to start with him being enemies with commas, and eventually he will fall in love with the comma, and it'll be the greatest enemies to lovers arc of all time.
Is that Glenn Cook?
Well, Croker writes shorter sentences than the other narrators.
Yeah.
Like Mergen writes longer sentences, Sleepy and Lady as well, but it's more noticeable with Mergen. That's why I said when I was reading Soldiers Live for the first time, I was like, all right, let's see the first line of Soldiers Live. I was like,
are you pulling out your signed first edition?
Yeah, signed first edition. Yeah. So I was like, oh, chapter 1 has a name? And then I was like, 4 years passed and no one died. And I was like, it's a very brief sentence that doesn't have much follow. And I immediately was like, is this Croker? Like it took one sentence for me to be like, "Is this Croker?"
Whereas it took me an entire chapter, which is 2
Yeah.
pages, to realize, oh, Croker's
This is
back.
Croker.
So unbelievably
When he literally
back.
says, "Sleepy kept us occupied."
Sleepy would not start the book that way.
It's true, but I don't pay attention to prose as much as some people.
I wasn't trying, but I was just like, I got hit with the vibe of Croker wrote this, you know?
Croker was here it was like spray painted on the page.
Yeah.
So I told Evie about this at one point, speaking of like the way it's written. In Shadows Linger, in The White Rose, Croker straight up says like because you know the Beaumont sections are in third person.
And he makes them up.
No, they're in third person because they were written by someone that was classically trained, because that is the way they used to write. It's the way they used to write, and then that's when you figure out it was Raven because he was classically trained because he came from big fancy rich family. So I thought that was interesting that there's even an in-book like meta reason why it's written in third person. As soon as I read that, I was like, wait, you could do that?
And I like for Shadows Linger, there's like the Shed stuff, and it's written as if it's from like Shed's point of view. And later Mergen mentions like, you know, for the different styles, like Croker like will write stuff from other people's perspective and like do his best guesses and then like canonized it, compared to Mergen is just like, and then I was wandering around in my weird visual powers thing and I saw stuff. And that's why Croker sees that and sees that he hasn't canonized the other point of views and just is doing the disappointed. Yeah, it's so cool how he varies the frame narrative. Enter Theodore, stage right.
Theodore.
What does Theodore feel about this?
Yes, those are the collections, by the way, John. We're just gonna we're gonna do that.
Oh, Alan, I was hoping you were gonna do the Lion King.
How do we?
thing.
No,
he can't support his neck.
Oh, okay, never mind.
There we
That's
go.
a pretty good reason.
It's a baby.
He looks a mess currently, but he was just in there screaming. So
It's okay. He's a baby. He's allowed to look like a mess. Their
Yeah.
standards are very
Listen,
low.
we're starting the Glenn Cook train early. He's
Yeah.
gonna be obsessed.
It's true.
Theodore, what is your favorite entry of the Black Company?
His favorite is I don't know what his favorite is.
Water sleeps because
He's gonna be a Raven stan.
He's not.
He's gonna be a Raven stan, and his favorite is gonna be Bleak Seasons. And I was gonna be like, "Who have I raised?"
No, he's
What's
not.
happening?
No, he's not.
So it's confirmed that Atticus's first book was KJ Parker, was The Folding Knife. So now Theodore's first.
I think White Rose is pretty low on my totem pole, mostly because I don't like the Plane of Fear really all that much, and also I was just kind of over the Barrowlands.
I'm just kind of
just the rock people in the White Rose.
The Mean Hairs, I love the Mean Hairs.
I know, I love them.
That's true.
I love the Plane of Fear. Like, it only exists because like wizards literally had to rip something out of another dimension to beat something that was worse than the Dominator. Like,
Yeah.
Which is
insane.
terrifying.
I do like the Wind Whales going after Limper, like in Silver Spike.
Yeah, there was a lot of good, like, it felt, White Rose felt like a lot of random stuff was dropped on us and I kind of felt like this with some of the lore in Soldiers Live as well. It's like he was tired of keeping stuff and he just wanted to shove a bunch of stuff in here. And it worked better in Soldiers Live because there was a lot more build up. But White Rose was,
I like Silver Spike actually more than I think a lot of people do, because it's Terry Brooks in the second Shannara series has a book called The Elf Queen of Shannara, which is basically a team of people go to a forest or an island to try to find something, and the book is just them slowly dying one by one and seeing how they're going to die. And that's what I felt like with Silver Spike. It's like a band of thieves who steal something, aren't able to ever try to sell it, and then one by one start getting picked off. And I just love the scrappy little regular people who have no idea what they've messed with and are just trying to survive. And also, it has the wonderful distinction of Raven getting absolutely clocked by Old Man Fish. Like, Raven in Silver Spike is a joke. Like, he's built up this huge aura in the first 3 books, and just in Silver Spike, just laid out.
I like how first we got the fake reason why he likes Silver Spike, and then we got the real reason why he likes Silver Spike.
It came to me as I was saying
Yeah.
it.
You're like, no, it's not any of these literary story structure reasons, actually. It's because Raven got clocked.
By Old Man Fish.
By Old Man Fish, yeah.
Look, the man was heartbroken. He didn't have any fight left in him.
Oh my gosh, Raven, get over yourself.
Oh my
Speaking
gosh, I
of
hate
Raven,
that.
speaking of Raven, it literally, Glenn Cook literally tells you in the first book that Raven has like magical abilities. He straight up says it in just plain English. Like at one point, Croker's like, "Why doesn't Raven get a medallion?" And it's either Goblin or One-Eye. They're like, "He doesn't need one. He has his own protection." And it's like he couldn't spell it out any clearer for you at the very beginning. What's going to end up happening to Raven? Well, yes, but yeah, I just couldn't believe it because when I was reading it again this last time, I just was taking notes like every few pages because I was like, "Holy crap!" He's spelling out so much of what happens a very long time from now, just in the first book.
That's awesome.
Croker just spoiling himself for the future.
And Glenn
Unless
Cook doesn't
Croker
outline,
wrote it
right?
later.
So he just
No.
I think I'm going to do this in the future.
No plot, just vibes. That's basically Lies Weeping. Summer, the first 80, no more than 90%.
Listen, you
Lies
had me at Boob Monster, so I'm so excited.
Someone with it on Audible, I guess I have it on an ebook because it doesn't exist physically. I need to Control F Boob Monster.
How many?
I'll do it right now.
I have it on Kobo.
I'll say I'll do it.
Who can?
Please let me know how many times.
Anyone want to guess?
It's at least
89.
89?
No, it's not that much, but it's at least 30.
Oh, I thought you got the answer. Okay. 89 sounded like a plausible answer to me, but it probably is a little too high.
Look, you got to go.
Okay,
with the
Kat, stop sitting on my key.
12.
There's no way it's
That's not accurate. That's impossible.
Search better.
It's
I
12.
literally typed in Boob Monster.
It's 2
Did
words.
you try it with a dash and a note and a space? Separately?
I did.
It
space,
automatically
and
does it for you.
Yeah.
Let's just search the word boob.
The problem with that
cast
is
a wider
Boo-Boo.
net.
Boo-Boo comes up that way.
Oh, all right, let's search monster.
They talk about Boo Boo.
Okay,
Okay, is
Kat,
Boo-Boo dead?
stop sitting on my
dead, right?
control key. Okay. Okay, it is.
Anyway, we don't often be doing this. Pete, you don't have it. Keep talking while we're doing this.
Look, I'm really excited to read about Boob Monster. I don't know why. Like, not the who. Yeah. Anyways, I think it's gonna be interesting to have these two.
Out of context, that sounds so weird, Pete.
I know. That's why I
It is only
stopped
12.
for a second. I'm like,
I can't
whatever.
believe it's only 12. That seems shocking. Stop sitting.
It should have
Listen,
been 89.
this is just an example.
Okay, no,
Speaking as the token woman in this chat, no one believed the woman. I said 12. Just
I wouldn't have
put it out
believed
there.
whoever said it first. I only believed myself.
Anyway, sorry, Pete.
Confirmation
Go ahead.
bias.
Right.
Griffin is so confused. He's like, "What?"
We have not talked about Goblin and One-Eye enough. I feel like I just love Goblin.
Can
and
you
One-Eye.
ever talk about them too much?
It is
No.
12. Oh my guys, it's 12. I just looked it up. It's
What
only
do you
12.
think we just said?
Well, Alan, I believe you because you seem trustworthy and reliable.
Thank you, guys. I mean, any of us could have looked it up, but I'm the one that did it. So
Oh.
I'd like to know he
like,
also.
guys, I
did-
really thought it was.
I'd
12.
like to note he also didn't trust mine for the record. Let the record state.
Until
Like,
you
none of it sounded right, and it's like y'all have the same equipment that I do, but Like I swear it was more, but it's not.
Yeah, because I tried. Like I wrote it with, and then I was like, "Space boob monster." One
Yeah.
word.
It is
I
a
tried all
very-
variations.
It's a very distinct phrase, so it
Okay.
seems like a lot more
Yeah,
when
that's
it's
true.
up.
That's true.
Do you think that Glenn Cook wrote Boob Monster more times and then edited it out
No.
because he was like,
Now,
that's too many boob monsters?
Shukrat complains about Arcana's like chest way more. It's just I guess she only says boob monster
12 times.
or 12 times.
That's
I guess
hilarious.
to Jake's point, One Eye and Goblin, gushing about them some more. Again, like they're like the comic relief, but they are just.
I have a
don't
lot
know.
of respect for both Jake and Evie because I talked to both of you about Goblin dying in Water Sleeps after I read it on the plane up to Worldcon, and neither of you said anything. And then I was reading Soldiers Live. I'm like, oh,
Hey,
gosh darn
spoilers
it, Glenn
poker
Cook.
pretty solid. Okay. Sorry, cats are the most unreasonable creatures in the history of the world.
Do you know who's also unreasonable? One Eye and Goblin.
It's true. It's
But
true.
they're more reasonable than cats who decide that they want to sit close to me and then attack me when I interact with them.
That's cats for you, unfortunately.
And-
But to answer your question, John, One Eye and Goblin are two separate characters. So they are both wizards. And we haven't even talked about the naming conventions. Like, no one really even has a name. They're just, other than Sarah and maybe Mergen. Everyone
not-
just
I don't-
has
Is Mergen's name Mergen?
isn't it?
I have
It's
no
never
idea.
confirmed, but it could be something like Junior or whatever. Is the other guy whose name means Junior in his language?
Is that Mergen? Crap.
No, that's the guy that was purported to probably be a romance interest for Sleepy, and then
I
Sleepy
guess the
died.
Sing guy, Strangler dude, who's really annoying, has a name.
But he's not Black Company.
No
Just
Black
like
Company
technically Sarah isn't
Yeah.
Black Company.
True.
Maybe
I mean, they just have like their soldier names of like, Hoss or
I guess
you know what it is?
Servant and the Boob Monster.
No.
The Boob Monster name is not
Mergen?
actually the.
Mergen edited his name out. I think Mergen hates his soldier name, and he edited it out of all the annals.
That's
I
cool.
mean, I really was hoping we were going to get Croker's.
That's okay.
Yeah,
The reason
right,
that's
at some
Cope
point.
Pete is Mergen did not do editing. He was a one draft, never revised maniac.
Yeah,
Okay.
but he was editing other people's annals.
Yeah, but he wasn't editing his own. Oh, okay. So you're saying he went back and edited.
Other
How the
people's-
hell did he edit? Okay, but how did he
had plenty
edit
of time with
Servant's
Kroger's.
annals in Lies Weeping, who mentions Mergen?
I don't know. We haven't read Lies Weeping.
How did he even edit Sleepy's annals in for Water Sleeps?
He had plenty of time and
Okay, but whatever. He
in
Lies Weeping
Soldiers
confirmed.
Live.
You should have read Lies Weeping. Go request the Arco Net Gallery. They probably would have given it to you.
But
I will
yes,
wait.
John, like Maverick, like
Or like Whiskey Jack for the Malazan fans, or like any
Yep.
Malazan Marine.
another
Hitler
obvious
because he had a fiddle.
influence.
I never got to answer who my favorite non-analyst was.
Oh yes,
Do it.
It's Uncle Doge.
Yes, Uncle Doge.
He's just the best. Nothing better than like an old man with a magic sword who just wrecks people.
Ashwan.
He is cool.
He's literally out there. Like, do you want to
Does-
spank?
Does Shed count as a non-analyst?
Yeah.
Oh no, yeah, Shed's the best. Then yeah, Shed's my favorite. That's the best
I
like
love
redemption
Shed.
arc ever.
Yeah. I mean, he kind of sucks, but like from a character perspective, he's I think the best non.
wait, just to make sure, Marin Shed is not the one that did the horrible things to underage girls, correct?
No.
No.
Okay, good. Oh, thank God. Okay.
No, that's who is that?
In Shadows Linger.
No, that's in That's in Silver Spike. That's one of the cousins.
Is it? I thought it was in the second book.
I mean, in the fourth book, one of the cousins, one of the bandits, the thieves in Silver Spike, is with two naked 11-year-olds when he's
that's the one I'm thinking of.
When he's come to be told about the and the problem is he ends up, if you remove that particular scene, he's the most reasonable of all of them. Like, it's his cousin that's insane.
Yeah, I still hate that scene.
Oh, I know. The 11-year-olds thing is disgusting.
I did not remember that on purpose. Thank you for
It's
telling
in
me.
the very. It's in. What's his name? Smelly, Smedley, Smed.
I think that's why I get the two confused. It's Smed and Shed or something like
Right,
that.
Joseph. You know what I'm talking about?
Vaguely. Let me look it up because I have the Black Company role-playing game from like 2004, and it has the character list in it. Let me grab it.
Nice.
That's amazing.
Also,
One of
he's
them, the
a
crazy one starts with a
publishing
T. It's like Tully. It's like Tully and Smed. That's what I'm going with. All right.
Nah.
That was
Yeah.
awesome.
It's Green Ronin, right?
Yeah. Let's see, because they're actually characters in the back.
I'm
They
going
have
with
like a
Tully
little
and Smed.
adventure for the Silver Spike.
Tully and Smed does sound right to me. Like, I couldn't have named them, but if you gave me a multiple choice answer, that's what I'd pick.
Yeah.
Speaking of multiple choice, Jake, when you bring back your game?
What do you say?
When you bring back your game?
My what? I don't know.
Game
what
show.
Yeah, your game.
Oh, yeah.
That's right.
Hold on. What is it?
No, as a quick aside, there are rules for Tonkin here, so we can play Tonkin real life.
Yes.
I found in the early days of the internet, I found rules for Tonk, and I put Tonk in almost every D&D session I ran for my players for the campaign. They were playing Tonk constantly because I was obsessed. Tonk's a fun game.
Yeah, I have questions for Kyle, and I've had them for several months, and we keep forgetting to schedule it. I don't even remember the answers. I think I have them written down.
Come on, I'm waiting. I updated my Goodreads for a spot.
Oh,
So-
did you?
I did. I completely
think
updated
that's-
my Goodreads because you asked.
Damn.
I think that's Pete asking to be next in line.
Yeah.
Well, he did tell me I was going to be
Did it
next
work?
in line because of an
Well, in
unupdated-
fairness, you still are. The line is just moving very slowly, you know? Like,
Hey, Jake, maybe you'll have the next episode of your game show that will align with the next episode of Book Jeopardy.
I hope
maybe,
it's
or
done.
I could not do that so people watch it.
No, I'm gonna put it up against where they're gonna be in the same primetime slots on different networks. It'll be
You're
Monday
gonna
Night
wait.
Raw Wars.
You're gonna wait for me to schedule it and then make sure you put it up at the same time. Okay.
Yes.
I'm gonna do it. Let's see. How can I make you more sleep deprived by if you're gonna intend to make
Just have it during the work day where I can't.
Yeah.
do
Well,
it.
I also have work, but
Uh-oh.
I'm like, all right. So
You're
if you're
3
gonna
hours.
talk,
you're 2 hours.
I'm gonna
you're
put
2
it
hours
late
sleep.
at night, and then you're gonna talk, and you're gonna wake up Christina and your small children, and then they're gonna murder you. That's how I'm gonna stop that. I'm gonna be like,
Yep.
oh, I'm doing this PST. I'm gonna put it at 11 p.m. PST.
All right, you
Good luck.
win.
Have fun.
It's at 11 PST. You win. I'm not staying up. I'm not doing it then. I'm not doing it at 1.
Do it right after New Year's.
Frankly, 11 might be overkill. Like, even if I do 9 p.m. PST, like, do we really believe he's going to schedule it for Book Jeopardy at 9 p.m. PST?
11
That's-
o'clock his time.
It's pretty dubious.
True.
I'm skeptical.
So are
But
they
I
coming out with the? Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I just want to point out, just rereading the first line of the first book, just after reading the series, excluding Port of Shadows and Lies Weeping, the first lines of Black Company just hit so much deeper and differently. There were prodigies importance enough, One Eye says. We must blame ourselves for misinterpreting them. One Eye's handicap in no way impairs his marvelous hindsight.
It's true.
Yeah, Black
Neither
Company's
does
going to
that
be a really
hat.
fun series to reread. There's just too many series I want to reread.
I know.
Did you find
All
it,
right,
Joseph?
Joseph, what is it?
No, I couldn't find it.
Dang it!
I'm looking it up.
If you look up,
What have you guys read it on audio?
I did.
How is it?
Good. No, that's not true. Dreams of Steel is not good on audio.
Smed is. I can confirm Smed. SMED. Smeds.
Tully. It's Smeds.
Tully.
Smeds and
Smeds
Tully.
and Tully.
Skull.
There's yeah.
It's Smeds, not Smed. All right, I was a letter off. That's fine.
That's close enough.
I did not. So in order for me to like get through them quicker, because they were rereads, I listened to the audio of basically all of them, and they are of varying quality. The Croker guy is good. It's Mark
Vitor.
Yeah, he's great. Like, he is really good. Love him. Like, he does a really good job, I think. The lady one is not. I didn't love the lady one. I didn't love the Silver Spike one. It was better. I can't remember Mergen's, but the fact is they all pronounce Dejagor differently. I'm going to say Dejagor. No one says Dejagor, but that's how I'm going to pronounce it. But they have Dejagore, they have Dejagore. Every narrator pronounces Dejagor differently.
Dejagore sounds objectively wrong.
I don't know what to tell you.
I'm sorry. What?
But yeah, so I don't recommend Dreams of Steel on audio, but the Croker books are great. The Croker books are really good, I think.
I can agree with this, Anita.
Sure.
Get him one step closer to KJ Parker.
KJ Parker, sure. I'll re-record the Dreams of Steel one for free.
Just handed to Glenn Cook. Look,
it's
hold on.
I just want to say one thing about the audio. Like, they give her and I think the Mergen one a hard time, because they do, like, the characters in Dreams of Steel and in the Books of the South are Indian inspired. Like, we're clearly in an India area, but then they give the narrators a hard time. Some of the reviews I've read for doing Indian, like trying to do Indian voices, like they're trying to do Indian accents for these people, and then like are mad because it's like, oh well, these stereotypical racist accents, and I'm like, but the character is Indian. And it's not Apu. Like, none of them sound like Apu from The Simpsons.
Well, also, and then if you take in a context of Dreams of Steel, Lady is being obviously like prejudiced against them, or whatever the word is.
I mean, that's a good argument for doing an Apu voice.
It's the lady narrating, and she's the real.
But yeah, it's like, so for example, for Tigana, one of the like conqueror people is like, his country is supposed to be like vaguely like Eastern European, and so like Simon Vance does like an Eastern European accent, and it'd be very weird if people were like, why is Simon Vance trying to do like an Eastern European accent? And it's like, well, the character's origin is based on Eastern Europe. Like, that is how that works. What voice would you do for the Sing Strangler dude? I better be an annoying one, because that dude sucks.
Me? What I would do?
If you're the audio,
I'm not gonna get canceled on air, but I'm not gonna do it.
Not enough people are watching this for you to get canceled.
I don't care. I'm not gonna do it.
Will judge the voice.
Here's the thing. Like, I don't want to offend Anita. I might offend. My Indian accent might be too much.
I actually was going to ask that before you brought up the complaint about the Indian accents, because I was actually just curious how you would voice a character who's so edgy and annoying.
Who? Raven? Or Narayan Singh? Yeah, him. Oh, Narayan Singh's the worst. I would do an Indian accent, but I would study it first and do it. And I would listen to an Indian person talk repeatedly, and then try to do it, and I have to do it line by line, which is what I always have to do if I'm doing an accent that I'm not super fluent with.
Alan, you have permission from an Indian person.
I'm not doing it. See, now I'm embarrassed. No, but I do. Like, I've started getting a lot of like Jamaican students in my classes, and
really,
we're on the beach. We're tourists. We have there's a lot of we have just have a larger Jamaican populace here, and when I first started teaching my class, one of the kings of Rome, his wife is like an oracle, like a seeress, right? And when I was the first time I was teaching it, I just reached for a voice, and I'm old enough to where I grew up with a lady named Miss Cleo, who was like an Iowa psychic, and she had this fake Jamaican accent, right? She's like, call Miss Cleo now. You know, dial 1-800 or 1-900 Miss Cleo and get your reading today, right? And so that's just the voice I gave this character. No one understands it because no one knows who Miss Cleo is anymore. And then now I asked my Jamaican students, I'm like, is it like that? And they're like, I mean, I guess. Every time I'm always like, how do you feel about Yaman? And they're like, we hate that. We hate when tourists come to Jamaica and say Yaman. So it's always good natured. But I didn't have to think about it before. But now I have Jamaican students often, and I'm like, am I going to do this?
Do you quote Cool Runnings to them at all?
I asked them if they've seen it, and most of them have not.
Oh, that's so sad.
Yeah,
And that makes sense though.
Most of them never heard of it. Like literally never heard of it. So
that's disappointing.
Dougie Doug's greatest acting.
No, 100%. I didn't know he wasn't Jamaican.
Anyways, Black to Black Company. There you go.
Black Company, my favorite. They're back company. They just really like deadlifts and having strong backs.
Back day every day.
Stop hitting my keyboard with your tail.
Carrying the weight of all these wars.
Okay. You're a ridiculous creature.
Yeah,
so
Joseph, do you know the release schedule for the rest of Pitiless Reign?
Yeah, so I think the next one comes out
November next year.
So no, I think it comes out in like March or something.
Oh, I literally just checked Wikipedia.
I choose to believe Evie because she is a trustworthy person, and when she gives me factual information, I find it believable.
Wait,
Jake learned. But to be fair, I looked at Wikipedia, so it might be wrong.
It's true.
Wikipedia is notoriously wrong.
Alan, I need you to narrate the Garrett Files because they don't have an audiobook. And
are they good?
Yes.
I've never read Garrett PI because I was like, is this going to be good?
Like 9 of the 15 are very good, and then like 2 are bad. Those are the last 2. Someone left me a comment on my Glenn Cook video saying that there were rumors that one of his sons wrote the last 2 Garrett novels and he just cleaned them up, and that's why they're so much longer and so different. And they are like night and day compared to the rest of the Garrett Files. It's really weird.
Oh,
so you can get Atticus to narrate the last 2.
How is? I do want to ask, just how is Dread Empire?
You will love Dread Empire. It is the most military fantasy like series ever.
Very cool.
Also, we have borderline confirmation ? That at least Black Company and Dread Empire and Instrumentalities of the Night are all interconnected, right, Joseph?
I don't know. Instrumentalities might be, but I know that Dread Empire is. There is a. It's like barely hinted at, and in a recent interview or in a recent AMA, someone asked Glenn Cook about it, and it's like the Lance of Passion. There's a banner in the Dread Empire that has like the same type of abilities or whatever.
Oh, cool! And those are connected to Shadow Gates, right? Like the
yes,
yeah.
That would make sense. Cool. It'd be a really easy thing for him to connect.
I think he said in that AMA, one of the only helpful things he said in that was I think he intended it to be that, like to start with. And then that Joseph read it. That's one of the most unhelpful AMAs I have ever read in my entire life. Every question they ask him, he says, I don't know. Or I just did it. Like,
have you seen his other interviews?
There's the one at the back.
He's always like that.
Are they all like that?
Yeah. His interviews are amazing because like people ask, they'll be like, "Hey, what does this mean?" And he's like, "I don't know. I just made it up."
Yeah. They're like, "Oh, did you mean for like these to tie in and just have like?" And he's like, "No, I just needed a character that was a crazy person."
Yeah.
So I just made him.
There's a Glenn Cook interview at the back of Midworld Press Black Company, and all the answers like that. Like even when like the interviewer is like, "And what led you to start writing on your own?" I couldn't say. I started when I was in the 7th grade. I was out of school for almost 3 weeks. So even when he's asked, like, why did you start writing? He's like,
I just like it, bro. I was
If you
feeling
want-
be the starter of.
If you want some like helpful things from Glenn Cook, there's like two options. One, the best of Glenn Cook. He writes an introduction to every short story, and then he wrote an essay for. It's like writing fantasy heroes or something. I have to look it up, but he has an entire essay about how he writes and like why he writes the way he does and stuff in that. So
And
That's really
that's
good.
the essay that I think you had mentioned that, like, he doesn't plan. Obviously, he doesn't
no,
plan.
he doesn't.
But, like,
He doesn't plan.
he-
He doesn't plot at all. No outlines. He said one time he had to have an outline, and so he wrote the book and then wrote the outline after he finished writing the book and sent that to the publisher, like the outline.
And then is that also the same essay where he's like, if in one scene the character's gonna die, he's like, the character's gonna die. I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
Yeah. Basically, I'm not
His
gonna
whole
make
thing
sure the character
is
survives.
shit happens. He just says shit happens. So like if someone dies, like if the hero of the story is riding across a river on his horse and he gets swept away and drowned, that's just how it works. He's not going to save them.
The joy of
Glenn
Glenn Cook
Cook is a
interviews is
pantser
not
until he
getting
dies.
useful information. It's watching the ambivalence at which Glenn Cook can answer literally
Yes.
100% of questions.
Amazing.
And also bringing back Soul Catcher.
Yo,
So-
I don't know what his deal is. He's got to stop. Joseph, what about Instrumentalities of the Night? Is it good?
It is hard to read.
So
Like
no.
Didn't you
So-
DNF it?
I did DNF it. The reason why is like there's just I think it's the most like exposition heavy he's ever been. And the thing is like he's building like 1400s Europe except his fantasy version. Like he was like Guy Gavriel K-ing it, except it's not like GGK. It's like the premise is really interesting and I want to go back to them, but like I had to just stop because like I wasn't enjoying the audiobooks, and then when I just tried to read them like eyes on paper, I was like I can't do this. It's got
Isn't
really
he not even
interesting
finishing
stuff.
the series? Isn't the publisher like pulling the series because of?
He had to
Close.
rush the ending in the last book. He just kind of slapped an ending on it because they said they're like, we're not going to make any more of these, and so he ended it, and so yeah, there won't be any more. But luckily, the Dread Empire, it took 24 years, but he did come back and write the last book, and it was actually a trilogy that he just had to compress into one novel. So that book is very fast paced. It's like ripping.
Yeah, see,
It's
you
still
asked,
good though.
You asked GGK like, oh, why do you do like what you do with the history bending? GGK has an essay on his website. If you write Cook that, I'd be like, oh, so what was like the research process like for like writing your own version of 14th century, and how did you blend fantasy and history? I don't know. I didn't really think about it. I kind of just sat down, started writing whenever I wanted. That's probably the answer you would get, basically.
It'd be something like that's the books I read recently. I just like 14th century Europe.
That's hilarious. Pantser till the day he dies.
He
Also,
pants his world building. This is a new level of pantsing.
everything. He evidently it is November for the next one. First of all, Evie was right. However, it was previously said by Glenn Cook that it was supposed to be March, and then his editor came in and said, "Nope, directly from Tor, it's November."
I wonder if
Oh,
they
Tor.
delayed it to give him time to finish the fourth one, because he said that the first three were like done, or the first two were done, the third one was pretty much done, and he was working on the fourth. So
That's the second
Impossible.
mid-level in terms of sales Tor book that I know of being delayed recently, because Ada Palmer's book also got delayed like a year. She mentioned it at Worldcon. It's not coming out until 2027, and it's like done.
I'm gonna blame Brandon Sanderson. Just
Okay.
I'm gonna blame Amazon.
I'm going to blame Tor for the fact that they're not as good at Orbit is now, and they should work on that.
Tisk. So, is there anything else y'all would like to say about Black Company before we end this wonderful stream?
The people who haven't read Lies Weeping, are you kind of scared to read Lies Weeping because of how good the ending of Soldiers Live was?
Listen,
No.
I'm not joking. Boob Monster has got me excited to read this book. But I gotta get through Port of Shadows first. So
Hey, I didn't read Port of Shadows. And it's like, it's the connections thing for... okay, I know Joe's probably there's a good reason to read Port of Shadows. And it's like, for a lot of things where there's connections, people will be like, oh, it doesn't work. So, I read scenes and I didn't know the backstory of those scenes, but it wasn't like that made me be like, these scenes have no meaning or enjoyment for me. It was just like, oh, that was a cool, mysterious dude instead of, oh, that was that dude. Anyway, Joseph's probably going to tell me I'm wrong now and that you should read Port of Shadows, but I would like to say it might be better to read Port of Shadows, but it's not like Lies Weeping is ruined by having not read Port of Shadows. Joseph, you can debunk what I just said starting now.
I technically did start Lies Weeping. I got like 2 chapters into it. And then I set it down to read other things.
Because you didn't read Boob Monster. If you had read the words Boob Monster, you would have been.
Yeah, when's the first Boob Monster?
True. I think it was Kindle said like page 39 or something. Or something like that. But no, the character voice of the 2 analysts is so, it just slaps you across the face with how strong it is. And I'm like, yep, that's Glenn Cook for you. So,
well, like that was there in the very end of Soldiers Live. Like, Jake, you're asking if I was scared to read Lies Weeping because of the ending. No, I think that the last page or so kind of leads into it in a good way. Like, it's not like the ending is amazing still, but it's still like you get like a page or 2 of those 2 writing, and it's like, oh, they're gonna be the next ones. That's gonna be so cool.
Yeah,
I'm excited to get
when I got to Soldiers Live, it kind of in my head, it was put away with like, this is the end of the series in the same way it was for like A Memory of Light for like Wheel of Time
or Assassin's Fate.
Yeah. Which is kind of the same thing. Like if Hobb releases another books for Realm of the Elderlings, I'm kind of like, I'm obviously going to read it, but I'm like, man, you ended this so good. Anyway, Joseph, how important do you think Port of Shadows is for Lies Weeping on a scale of 1 to 10?
5. Like, it's not, it doesn't ruin the book. Like, I mean, you and Alan both read it without reading Port of Shadows, but the nice thing is, so all of the flashback stuff in Lies Weeping that the character I'm not going to name is doing, all of that is tied to Port of Shadows, to the flashbacks in Port of Shadows. Like the flashbacks in Port of Shadows are amazing. And it's just that the Black Company stuff is distorted. And there is kind of a reason for that. Like not just that Glenn Cook forgot how to write Croker because he hadn't done it in like 15 years. I think it's in like the first chapter. It specifically says that these are annals that were lost, or that they didn't remember writing, is what Croker says. And so
Croker never got a chance to edit them.
Probably.
Or Mergen never got a chance to edit them.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
I refuse to give Mergen credit for the good writing in Croker's books. I will not stand by this. I will fight you on this.
Hey, you're the one
maybe
that
it's just translation error. How many languages do you think these annals have gone through in the time that we've been with them?
Can you imagine if he's just like, actually, I wrote that book bad on purpose because it was a translation error?
I don't know about the translation error, but that same person that was talking about the last 2 Garrett books said that a lot of what Glenn Cook did in Port of Shadows was intentional. He just wanted to troll the people that were speculating on what the next Black Company book would be, and so he just...
That would be awesome.
So it's literally, it's like, he's like, I purposely wrote this one bad as a joke. Pete got that reference, I think. Oh, that would be very Glenn Cook.
Malazan joke of him writing an entire chapter that's like 120 pages or whatever. Steven Erickson. Was that the joke?
He did that, but I don't know if that was a joke.
Okay.
He wrote.
I thought that's what you were
referencing. Siege of Yigatan is like amazing, so he definitely didn't write that bad as a joke.
No.
If he was trying to, he failed. So, that would be very Glenn Cook to do. It'd be funny in an interview. He's just like, yeah, I kind of wrote Port of Shadows like shit just to mess with people. Anyway, so that makes me less motivated. Can I read just the flashbacks in Port of Shadows?
Yeah.
Okay.
Plot twist.
You would understand what is happening in them because you've read Lies Weeping.
Cool. Someone make like the boiled leather edition of like Dance with Dragons and Feast for Crows. Someone make that with the flashback of Port of Shadows and Lies Weeping.
It's just going to be the entire book as it was written, just all flashbacks.
Yeah, just put in the flashbacks.
If it's the entire book, if flashbacks are the only thing in a book, is it truly like flashbacks?
So the flashbacks in Port of Shadows are, it's kind of like when you get two different POVs of analysts of the same events. So it wouldn't really work if they were just kind of put into Lies Weeping. So if you just read them and then you can go see the ones in, or if you read the Port of Shadows ones, then you could go read the ones in Lies Weeping. So
Okay.
they wouldn't work kind of mixed together.
All right, I'll read it normally, and if I'm getting annoyed with the non-flashbacks, I'll bail on everything that isn't a flashback.
Yeah, that would work.
That's cool. So, last comments besides go read Black Company
I have
for
one.
all of you that have been spoiled.
Yes.
Will y'all read any other Glenn Cook? Specifically, will y'all read his science fiction?
Definitely at some point. I don't know when.
I have the standalone sci-fi like on my Amazon, and I'm waiting to get it because I heard it was really good. Is that true? Is it true, Joseph? Is it good?
Dragon Never Sleeps.
The Dragon Never Sleeps is very hard to read. People absolutely love it, but I struggled with it.
Oh no!
But he has another science fiction that is like, it is like Silver Spike. It is like adjacent to his Starfisher trilogy, and it is some of the best military science fiction I've ever read.
What's it called?
Also, Alan, he has a tier list of like all his Glenn Cook books, and then you can see how much he likes each book relative to like Black Company.
Oh,
Passage at Arms. Yeah, Passage
So if
at
you
Arms
search
is
Joseph Reed books, Glenn Cook. It's a good video. Everyone watching this, go watch that after.
Just added that, Joseph.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Like, comment,
submarine. It's like submarine battles, but in space. It's so good.
That's awesome.
Soldiers live in
I
Screens
am
and
most
Screens
excited
Why.
to read Dread Empire. I really want to read Dread Empire.
Yeah, I'd like to read.
You need to read it in my suggested reading order.
Oh, you don't start with book 1?
You don't start with Shadow of All Night Falling.
What
Is that book? Okay. I'll read it in whatever your order is because I
Hold
have no competing order.
Why not?
Because the two middle books are better than those three, and they're prequels. So Shadow of All Night Falling is so strange. Like it shows like what Glenn Cook is. It shows his potential because it was published in like 1978, but it's just weird. Like just the way the story is laid out, and the main characters of the entire series are like minor characters in the first book. And so as you read through the series, you're like, what is going on? But if you read the prequels first, you get to see these characters, and then you don't like the prequels just weren't as good because you're like, I don't care about any of the risks they're taking because I know where they are later in the books.
Okay.
But the prequels, what's nice about reading the prequels first is when you get to A Shadow of All Night Falling, this dude that's in the background, you're already like a stan of, and you're like, hey, this guy's here. This is awesome. But without that context,
what's the first prequel?
I think it is A Fire in His Hands. Let me look.
I probably clicked want to read on that. Oh, it's not that because I searched that on Goodreads and it didn't come up.
The Fire in His Hands and With Mercy Toward None. Those are the first two you should read.
All right.
And
I'm adding that too. Cool.
It's a holy war in his version of the Middle East. It's great.
That's awesome because I have A Shadow of All Night Falling. This
is going to be my next Glenn Cook, the best of Glenn Cook, because short story September. It's going to happen. I'm going to read it. Starting
I have to go, guys. I got to help with a baby, and then I got to get to bed. I'm going to pass out. But thanks for having me.
Many things to do.
I love. No one ever talks about Black Company, so I'm so happy we can talk about Black Company.
Yeah, I'm glad I finally got through it. I'm excited to get to Lies Weeping and the rest of this.
Regroup. When you're all done with that.
We definitely should.
That'll be like the same for me, but okay.
Yeah, for sure.
It's been 4 years since I've read Lies Weeping.
Yeah, you guys can. One of you can read like 4 years. I'll be like, I don't remember what happens in this. I'm like, I'm pretty sure it was pretty good. Although I don't think it had a plot until like I didn't even know what the
Page.
plot was about until like page 90%
80%.
of the way in, and then it
It didn't need
ended
a plot.
in the middle of like a scene.
It'll be fun. Well, thank you everybody for watching, and those of you on the replay, thank you for watching this far. Will I ever do a live show again? We will see. Y'all have a wonderful night.
Good night, guys.
But he's alive, and that's good. I saw him at Worldcon.